All right, here we go. Last kind of lesson of Unit 7. And we're going to be kind of combining everything. We're going to be using our trig ratios, and we're going to do that to find missing side lengths. So if we look at our first example here, find the value of x. I'm going to go ahead and highlight, this is the corner, like this is my reference angle, so I can label everything from this point. So again, here's opposite, here's adjacent, and here's hypotenuse. The two sides that are being used are opposite and adjacent. So I'd always recommend, whenever you're doing these problems, to kind of write out SOHCAHTOA so that you can reference it. And so the ratio that uses opposite and adjacent is tangent. So I'm going to say tangent of 32 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. Now my goal is to figure out x. So in order to do that, what I end up doing is I multiply by x on both sides. So I get x tangent 32 equals 11, because this cancels out. And then I'm going to divide by tangent 32. I'm going to divide by tangent of 32 so that this cancels out. So I'm just left with x equals 11 over tangent 32. And again, you'd have to use your calculator. So if I was using my calculator, I would say, let's see here, 11 divided by tangent 32, and I get 17.604. So I would say, what's that missing side length? 17.604, and then it would be whatever units we had. So what you'll end up noticing is that from what we started with, when you have tangent and then you have your variable on the bottom, from what we started with and what we ended up with, we flipped them. So the long way is to, again, multiply by x, divide by tangent. But in a sense, what you're going to do is when you get tangent 32 equals something with your variable on the bottom, you're going to end up, after multiplying and dividing, you end up flipping them. So I'm sure we'll see another example of that. So this is not my reference angle. My reference angle is right here. It could be, because again, if you have two angles, you can figure out the third one. But I'm going to use what they gave me. Opposite, adjacent. So we're going to use tangent again. So tangent of 61 equals 22 over x. And like I just talked about, multiply by x, divide by tangent, we're going to end up getting x equals 22 over tangent 61. This thing is way too big there. And so when I type that in, 22 divided by tangent 61, I get 12.195. If you round that 4 up to a 5. All right, looks like we're going to keep using tangent, which again, totally fine. Opposite, adjacent. This one's a little bit different because I get tangent of 56 equals x over 13. This time, my variable's on the top, so all I have to do is multiply the left side and the right side by 13, and I'm going to be left with x. So 13 tangent 56, 13 multiplied by tangent 56 equals 19.273. All right, this one has two variables. Cool. So let's start here. and I'm going to solve for A first. So again, if my reference angle is the same, I know I have opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent. So to solve for A, I'm still going to use tangent. Tangent, so this is A. Tangent of 57 degrees equals 14 over A. Therefore, A is going to equal 14 over tangent 57. 14 divided by tangent 57 equals 9.092. That's A. Now for B, it's going to change slightly. So I want to use what I know. I now know A, but again, if I see 14 in B, that is hypotenuse and opposite. So sine uses opposite and hypotenuse. So I am going to say the sine of 57 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Eventually, after I multiply by B and divide by sine, I get 14 over sine 57. And 14 divided by sine 57 is 16.693. So again, using what you know, you can choose the correct trig ratio. Tangent for A, sine for B. All right, let's see here. My reference angle, opposite, hypotenuse, adjacent. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to solve for X. And I'm going to say, I want to use hypotenuse and adjacent. SOHCA, TOA, cosine uses adjacent and hypotenuse. So cosine of 47 equals X over 12. What I'm going to end up doing is multiplying by 12. So I'm going to get 12 cosine 47 equals X. 12 cosine 47 equals 8.184. And then let's solve for Y. We'll choose a different color. Solving for Y. I'm still going to use opposite and hypotenuse this time. So that's sine. Sine of 47 uses opposite over hypotenuse. Multiply by 12. 12 sine 47 is 8.776. There you have it.